Dr. Thomas Welty, the humanitarian who gave his all to mankind. Dr. Welty worked in Cameroon when Professor T. Pius Murphy was the director of CBC Health Services. When Dr. Welty was critically ill and could no longer come to Cameroon, Professor T did something remarkable. He said it was better to recognize him while he was still alive. This led to the production of an album with messages from CBC Health Services leaders and staff who worked closely with the Weltys, a gift he treasured with his family.
And he brought a wonderful memento of all our experiences in Cameroon, as well as some posters. So we're very grateful for all the memento that we have to keep us, to remind us of the work that we have done together with our colleagues in Cameroon.
In life, I have always preferred to recognize people when they are alive than when they are dead. And that's why my service, the CBC Health Services, decided to recognize Dr. Thomas Welty while he was alive and waiting until we hear that he's no more there before doing so. It's for that reason that I asked our communication department to prepare a very detailed album of some of the things he has done here with the voices of the people that he has actually worked with, so that he will read them, look at some of the pictures, and actually feel delighted that he worked with people that do recognize his presence and that actually appreciated the effort that he put into the services here in Cameroon. In fact, I took that album to him in the summer of 2023, presented it to him and his wife Eddie, and the family. Julie was there. In fact, they were overwhelmed and really very, very appreciative of what went into that album. In fact, they were to see the album. It's a kind of a history of what he did in Cameroon. And I prefer that. In fact, he looked at it all through, shared with friends. We had meetings in his daughter's house, Julie, and many family members came. He presented the album. They all looked at it. When we returned to his house in McCall, he still said I should extend his appreciation to the services because that meant a lot for him and his family. And I always observe it when somebody is no more and they go and put a medal on his casket, on his coffin. My question is, does this person see what we're putting here now? It's better to give the person the medal or any kind of award, let the person put on and see it and know that the work he was doing is appreciated, instead of waiting until the person dies before you begin to talk of. In fact, when I came back, we still organized a kind of WhatsApp call, group call, that we connected Susie, connected Eddie, connected Tom Welty himself, and by then he was getting weak, but we sang songs to him, we gave messages of encouragement to him, and he really appreciated that even on his sick bed. And again, I believe that this is more important than waiting until we're talking about memorial service. Even though we have a memorial service, we know that we did a lot to appreciate him when he was alive than waiting to do it when he is no more there. If Thomas Welty was still there today, I would still tell him, you are a great person, you are a philanthropist, you are somebody who is sacrificial, you are somebody who loved the people from your heart, and you work hard in life to make life better for many rural people. You made life better for the less privileged people, and you are a wonderful physician, you are a wonderful public health consultant, and we really love the work that you did here in Cameroon, and I continue to have wonderful memories of you and myself working at the community level, attending very important meetings. All the programs that you started in Cameroon are actually making a difference in the lives of many people. Through those programs, many lives have been saved, life has been improved for many people, and you created a form that will continue to be there for long because this fund is going to be there much longer, even after your wife shall have followed you in glory. She assured me that the fund will still be there. A substantial amount comes from there to fund about 7 different programs that are here in Cameroon that you and your wife Eddie initiated. We want to tell you that you are a wonderful person, and we know you are in the presence of God, and probably nodding your head and say, yes, I work with people that do recognize hard work, that recognize sacrificial work, and we are appreciative. Thank you so much.
The tributes and appreciations were not only written, some were spoken.
Dr. Eddie and Tom Welty, they have been an inspiration to me. Working closely with Dr. Welty, we were able to set up a bank account in the US, the Wells Fargo account, which has now become the sole account that is used by the entire Cameroon Baptist Convention to receive funds from abroad. And through the hard work and support that I got from Dr. Welty, I've got enormous experience in handling external funds, foreign transfers, and also accounting for donor funds. Dr. Welty has been a very meticulous man, very patient, and he loves to teach. And his approach to mentorship has been very successful in my life, and I can consider him as a great source of inspiration to my professional life. Each time he comes around, he's always with Eddie Welty, his wife, and Eddie Welty too has been very, very supportive in our work, especially with the Women's Health Program, giving financial support, giving technical support as a clinician. And I think that their services to the people of Cameroon is very commendable and has moved our services forward.
I remember Dr. Welty, I remember when we started the HIV/AIDS program. The first 6 AIDS educators that were commissioned, you were there on the day of commissioning. We sent these people to the field. There were just 6 at the time. But now, how it has grown. At that time, it was just at Cameroon Baptist Hospital. But now it is all over the Republic. I want to say thank you. God will bless you. The energy that you have put in, I want to reassure you that we will continue with the work that you have laid. Thank you for helping us. At that time, we were talking about nevirapine. We go to Jikijam and sought mothers who were pregnant, and when they deliver, the children are given nevirapine. Those children are still alive today and strong. Thank you so much. At that time, HIV was a taboo. There was a lot of stigma, but because of your presence, because of the work you did, it brought us hope. Thank you so much.
I want to appreciate Dr. Welty and wife for the impact they have created in the CBC Health Services, especially for their commitment and their generosity, their devotion to especially the spiritual life of the system.
Dr. Welty and Edith Welty, they are those figures who have really worked with me and worked with very, very closely and worked with us at the level of the CBC Health Services, and have actually changed a lot of things, done a lot of things that we are so happy about. You know, each time I think about Dr. Welty, the first time I met him was in Mayojinga. When we were going for the community nursing, and I was going to Mapti Hall. So we were together, and that's the first time I met him. And later on, I met him when we started the HIV prevention program. We actually went did the training together. And I remember later on he brought in the issue of the PMC program, where I was trained as the first coordinator with my brother Mzandi Josh, and we worked very closely with him. Each time I remember how I worked with Dr. Welty, we did not even know what we were doing at the beginning, because very few people even knew what HIV was all about, let alone PMTC program. And so I also remember situations where I traveled with him to the community, and I imagine how I carried Dr. Welty on a motorcycle, carried him on a motorcycle when we were going for community education in one church, CBC church in the Ginicom area, that happened in Bello. I also remember how I carried him on a motorcycle when we went to start the PMTC program in Bello Baptist Health Center. And in fact, each time I look at those things, I still remember how far we have come. I know for the first time, I went to Kampala with him, where we presented, that's in Uganda, where we presented the results of our PMC program there. And in fact, Dr. Welty and his wife have really done so much for CBC and also for the community here in Cameroon. And they brought laughter and smiles to many of the children that are here, many of the women that are here, and even many of the staff. And when I'm talking about many people, I don't want to exempt myself, because I keep asking myself if I never met Dr. Welty, and wonder how my life would have been now. I'm really, really grateful, Doctor, and for the work that I've done in Cameroon. I'm now nearing retirement, but I think that the work that we have done together will continue to be this, continue to do a lot of changes in the CBC Health Services.
I want to use this opportunity to recognize and extend words of appreciation for what the Weltys have been doing for us in Cameroon. And when I think of the Weltys, I'm thinking of Grandpa Tom and Grandma Eti. I call them Grandma because that's how my children refer to them. We have had a lot to benefit from them, thanks to the work that they have been doing to support Cameroonians. Before I joined the CBC in 2003, they were already doing a lot in supporting us to expand the PMTCT program. And this support involved 2 key visits every year to Cameroon, which lasted each for about 6 weeks. And within that period, we have a lot of training, we have field visits, we have mentorships, and everything you can think about that is meant to improve on the quality and the quantity of what we were doing to prevent transmission from mother to child. I remember when Dr. Welty kept looking for research findings wherever to be able to help us move from providing a single dose nevirapine for mothers to multiple drugs. And with science evolving, we continue to improve and improve and improve, and we move mother-to-child transmission from about 10%, which we had in our program, down to 5% and to about 3% that we have now. We could not have achieved this without their efforts. I also remember that it is through the efforts of the Weltys that we were able to secure seed funding from ECPAF to even begin the PMTCT program in the year 2000. It was them who looked for the people. It was them who identified ECPAF, shared the information with us, worked with us to develop a proposal which won the favor from the ECPAF. They gave us money, we started the program, and that continued to improve and improve and improve. I also remember when they kept lobbying right in the American Congress to have PEPFAR funding come to Cameroon. And through this, they'll use our program results to project what Cameroonians can do to control the HIV epidemic. And finally, PEPFAR decided to come back to Cameroon. And fortunately, CBC Health Services, given the success in the PMTCT program, was the first recipient of PEPFAR funding as a private implementer other than the government, because we received the first funding in 2011, and the only other person who had PEPFAR funding at that time was the Ministry of Health. And this enabled us to scale up PMTCT again to reach pregnant women wherever they were in the communities, community activities, health facility activities, quality improvement, monitoring, evaluation, and using results to improve performance. The story is long.
In one of the last emails sent in response to the appreciations bestowed on him during his last days, Dr. Welty had this to say.
Dear Clementina and Pius, thanks for preparing the lovely 87-page book of photographs of many of the CBCHS facilities and staff and messages from them. We appreciate all the work and expense that went into the preparation of this book. It has brought back many memories of our 25 years of providing volunteer service to CBCHS. The message from our Cameroonian brothers and sisters are especially meaningful. The work in Cameroon has been a very vital part of our personal and professional lives. Our health problems of aging, Tom is 79 and Eddie 80, precludes us from traveling to Cameroon, but we will continue to provide support from afar as we are able. We will treasure the book for the rest of our lives and know that our children, grandchildren, other family and friends will as well after we are gone. Please express our appreciation to others who have contributed to this book. We encourage you all to continue your efforts to improve health care and promote public health in Cameroon in spite of the ongoing conflict. May God continue to bless you in this work.
Yes, these days and today we are honoring a professional, a missionary that dedicated his entire life to the growth of the CBC, to the growth of Cameroon in terms of healthcare, and even to other parts of different continents. Dr. Tom, as we fondly call him Dr. Welty, was really a missionary that developed CBC to where it is today. If I can just recount a few of the things that directly impacted me as a younger professional within the CBC Health Services, even before being the director today, Tom really brought in this IRB, the Institutional Review Board, which he developed, the Ethics Committee, which is flourishing today. And with his last words, that he really urged us to be able to continue to promote public health and research that he brought into the CBC as a missionary for over 25 years. I can assure, even on his resting side beside the Lord, and to Ma Eddie Welty, that the IRB is doing well. It's even seeing more protocols than they had been before, and attending to so many Cameroonian young researchers. And even for some of the structures that he made us to acquire, like the Health Services Complex, I can really say today that we were blessed to have this facility, because today we are preparing to have a children's hospital within this facility. And there is a cancer ward there that will be dedicated to Tom Welty, to Dr. Tom Welty, which will actually be the cancer center at the Children's Hospital at the Health Services Complex, a facility which he actually acquired for the CBC. We're going to dedicate that specific one to him, and that is just a continuation of his legacy. And in the aspect of training staffs, which was one of the things that he did the most, developing so many of our leaders today that have taken up the mantle to actually promote public health, community health, clinical care, and so on and so forth. We continue to thrive in those domains, especially in the Women Health Program, where he was so passionate. The program is ongoing. The program Youth Networks, which he supported, is ongoing, and many other programs of the CBC Health Services are continuously being promoted and going even higher than what it was before. We want to continue to train staff, and that is still continuing as he did, which was one of his focus. Besides being a leader, he wanted to develop those who can have a succession of his work in Cameroon. So with this, we really want to promise that we will continue to uphold all these values that were kept so that our people can be healthy. Yes, it is true that we find ourselves in some crisis situation, especially now with the post-electoral crisis, with the crisis in the northwest, southwest, in the north and extreme north where we are operating. But we want to also stay in the humanitarian context, because he was a real humanitarian, and we promise him that we'll continue to keep these facilities open. We'll continue to keep the hope of the communities by being with them and attending to them when the challenges come, when their health deteriorate, and so on and so forth. So we are really glad that Dr. Welty kept this big legacy, kept this big CBC Health Services institutions and development, which today we can come and continue the work that he actually carried out while in Cameroon. As we celebrate the memorial of Patom today after 1 year of being at the bosom of the Lord, we want to say, Dr. Tom Welty, may you rest in peace in the bosom of the Most High.
Dr. Thomas Welty finally joined his creator on November 14, 2024, a week after celebrating his 81st birthday. He walked paths, leaving indelible footprints that will continue to impact lives for generations to come. Dr. Thomas KOESTER Welty was indeed a man with a mission and passion for humanity.